Which one?
Quill, Quill,
Was it Quill?
Quill.
Aston,
We was stuck on Bella. Then we
Austin.
was doing
Austin.
Austin
That
Hope,
motherfucker.
Quill.
Oh, okay. I was just nonchalantly asking for no reason. I will be right back.
I don't like her. I don't like. I don't
Yeah.
like. I don't like short people. I seen Don Robin. Hey, what's up, Pat? How you? Hey, like the video on your way in. Like the video on your way in. Let me know you in here. Hey, like the video. Let me know you in here. Let me know you in here so we can get started. I need the motivation. That shit too dark for you. Huh? Like the video. Let me know you in here. Let me know you in here. Another midget. Get ashes of that. Huh? Get ashes of that. No, no, no. That's for my wife. No, I don't smoke that shit. Cheating? Cheating how? I understand. That's just for her. You know I don't like you. That's about right. I don't want you touching my situation. You may pollute it. Avi, I'm not playing with you tonight. I don't got to sign no more. It's your fault, man. Yeah. So I just came from fucking Fishbone drinking goddamn apple martinis all night. Now Avi want to bring out a bottle of fucking wine. I kick you in your chest. Everything. Hey yo, man, you touch my wife again, I'ma kill you. How you? I'm alright. Hey, like the video on the way in. Let me know you in here. Like the video. Like the video. Like the video. Like the video on the way in. Like the video on the way in. We're gonna get into some ruckus tonight. We're gonna get into some ruckus tonight. My apologies about last night. My apologies. That's on me. I was somewhere where it was super loud. I couldn't really talk, articulate the way I wanted to, so I just fell back because I didn't want to overpower what was going on. You understand what I'm saying? But let me know y'all in here. Like the video, like the video, like the video, share the video, subscribe if you haven't been here before. This is Politics on the Corner. I'm Real Rap Kane. If you haven't been here before, it's not gonna go how you think it's gonna go. My bad, I can't see the live chat. Okay. Yeah, I'm up at Corona's Pimp. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the love and support. As always, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We got some things we're gonna get into tonight though. I couldn't get into it last night, but we're gonna get into it tonight. For sure, for sure. First thing I want to touch on, right, before I really get into the the um the core of what I want to talk about is that Officer Mark Dow, right? Officer Mark Dow, y'all paid attention to a couple of lives ago I did. I talked about Officer Mark Dow. He killed the young kid, I think his last name was Azari. Forgive me. I'm not as sharp right now with that as I supposed to do. But he killed the kid, right? The judge wound up throwing the case out. The judge threw the case out. He was charged by the district attorney's office. The judge threw the case out. The judge um, agreed with the defense that he had reasonable fear for his life, pretty much, right? I'm gonna summarize it. We ain't gonna go all into the weeds of it, but he had reasonable fear for his life, right? So it was worthy of throwing it out. Um, the DA's officer promised to refile charges. I don't understand this. I don't understand the ruling. I don't agree with the ruling. Um, when you watch that video, anybody, everybody, go watch that video for me. Go check that video out. Right? It's not gonna make no sense to y'all either. I promise you, it's not gonna make no sense to y'all either. It was an unjustifiable homicide. You being nervous and you panicking does not justify you shooting and killing anyone, even in law enforcement, even as a first responder. Let's be perfectly crystal clear. That does not do that, right? B, what's up? Net, what's up? Um, like the video on your way in. This does not give you justification for shooting an unarmed person, right? Now last week, I think it was like Thursday or Friday. Um, two Philadelphia police officers were reporting to their shift at the Philadelphia airport. They was riding in the parking garage. Upon arriving in the parking garage, they heard glass breaking. They went to investigate the glass breaking. They've stumbled upon a group of at least four young men trying to break into a car. One of the young men spun around, opened fire on the police, shooting one and killing the other one. Why am I speaking on this? Because this gives them justification for this knee jerk reaction that they have. You know what I'm saying? This gives them that justification to shoot and kill us at will. You know what I'm saying? Like I think people don't get it completely twisted. Like I see it from both sides, right? I get the police side of it where you coming into a situation you quite don't know what you stumbling into, right? So you got a knee jerk reaction, fight or flight kicks in. There's natural emotions that kick in, right? So I understand the climate that they're going into. I understand the thought process that they're going into. But at the same time, that doesn't give you the green light to become undisciplined. That doesn't give you the green light to be the judge, juror, and executioner. Just don't give you that. Let's be perfectly clear. But when people decide they want to shoot and kill police officers, they already ride around with itchy hair thing triggers. They already ride around like this. It's just a fact. That's not my opinion. They already ride around like this, especially depending on where they patrolling at, right? They already got a natural fear because, like I said before, I told y'all from the very first Politics on the Corner episode that some of this stuff is embedded in their head in the academy. Some of this is embedded in their head with the FTO, meaning they full time training officer, field training officer. My apologies. So you never know what this officer has been conditioned with. So we always got to be conscious and aware of that, right? So, but the moment one of them is shot and killed, they just give them the justification to hunt us and kill us at will, man. And it's always somebody. It's typically somebody young and dumb. You know what I'm saying? In this situation, I don't understand why you had a punk behind attempted breaking the entry, attempt. You understand? So I took that charge any day of the week, twice on Sunday, versus me taking the charge for killing a police officer. So now I got no compassion for them. I got no compassion. When they get upstate, the COs they gonna get raped every day. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. The CO is gonna green light it. The warden gonna turn his cheek. He gonna act like he don't know what's going on. This is how it works. The CEO is gonna beat them up. They gonna get raped. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to go on, right? Some inmates gonna love them because of what they did, but they problems really gonna come from the COs and the warden. This is where their problems gonna come in at, and they gotta take anything that come with that, cause this ain't a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all good to theoretically think, oh yeah, I'll bang it out with the cops. All right, it's cool. So then you should have died death by cop. That's my stance. Some of y'all probably going to say, damn, you tripping already. Nah, I'm just telling y'all. Because when you get upstate, it's going to be a whole different story. I promise you. I think it was nonsense. I don't agree with no part of it. Um, and word is they from like Camden, like South Jersey somewhere. They came over that bridge to steal a car, to rob and whatever, and run back over the bridge. Which a lot of that is going on right now. A lot of that is going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you go into a high crime area, you think your crime going to blend in with the rest of the crimes. That's the way it go. You understand what I'm saying? That's not nothing abnormal. But if this your first time to the show, it's not gonna go how you think it's gonna go. I appreciate the love and support as always. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know you here. Um, principles and parameters what we stick to. That's our bylaws. That's our guiding principles, and that's what we stand on. We don't compromise that for nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Um, it's just non-negotiable. But we gotta shout out advanced chemical sensors. We gotta shout out Jones Nelson Lawn Care. Um, Google them if you're in those local areas or you're in those areas where you can use their services. Please look them up. Please get them to do the jobs you need them to do. They're gonna do it at a high level. They're gonna do it with integrity, and they're gonna do it in a timely fashion, as always. But yeah, I don't understand that. Understand what I'm saying? I don't understand that. I don't agree with that. Um, it's crazy to me, but they're gonna learn the hard way. Definitely the hard way. They're gonna figure it out. That's not a movie. That's not a game. Um, but all right, now time to get into what we came here for. Blackstone and Platinum Partners. I hope I'm saying that right. They are companies that are buying up a bunch of single family homes. Their purposes of buying a bunch of single family homes is turning them into rental homes. Um, with that, right? With that, think about it. With that, if they so by like 20, 35, 20, 40, somewhere in there, they want to own 60%. These two companies between them, right? They want to own 60% of the rental homes in America, of the single family homes in America. I'm sorry. They want to own 60% of the rental homes, the single family homes in America. They want to turn them into rental homes. So what does that tell you? Simple mathematics, right? Only 40% of single family homes at that point going forward are going to be available for you to purchase. We all know that single family homes is the cornerstone bedrock to creating generational wealth. And this is going across color lines. This has nothing to do with color lines, right? You can say which demographic it would be more impacted by this. We can have that discussion. But at the same time, right, they talking about purchasing 60% of all single family homes. Like I said, leaving 40% of single family homes available for the purchase, right? Meaning, and then you got to weigh and measure exactly what single family homes will be left to purchase, right? Because we're not talking about the homes for a million plus. We're not talking about those. We talking about the maybe 200 to 400 range, maybe the 100 to 400 range, 100 to 500 range, right? We're talking about those homes that are typically purchased by the middle class buyer. So what does that effectively do? You could no longer leave your kids a home, right? You can't will a home. You can't will a home to your spouse. You're not going to be able to will a home to your kids. Think about that for a second. Like I said before, like I just said, the cornerstone bedrock to generational wealth is started. Is one of the core disciplines of that. One of the core investment principles of that is real estate. So remove real estate out of the equation. Think about it. They're going to turn you into lifetime renters. You got companies out here that are creating whole communities. Like, you know how these new construction homes go up, where you got these builders that create new construction subdivisions. You got people that's creating that, but for rentals. Think about that, man. That's not no coincidence. And then when you start googling some of these homes, I mean some of these corporations and companies that are purchasing homes and renting them, you start realizing the money trail. They subsidiaries of major companies, major corporations. So effectively, what does that do? That removes affordable housing because $2,100 a month in rent, and I'm talking about this particular subdivision community of rentals that's planning on being built, that's coming to fruition. $2,100 is not realistic for a lot of families, man. That's a lot of money. A lot of families cannot afford $2,100 on a rental, man. So when you say it's starting off between 19, $2,100, what does that effectively do? Look around the country. You got animal shelters or animal rescues right now that are max over capacity because people are forced to move out of their current living conditions into a smaller place because of affordability. So what happens? What typically happens? You had a pet. When you move into, they don't accept pets, or they got a crazy deposit, or whatever the case may be. But you can no longer keep this pet if you can't afford it, or it's not allowed. It's one of the two, right? So now you got these animal shelters or these animal rescues that's over max capacity because of this, because that's a part of it. You understand what I'm saying? So don't talk to me about the Affordable Care Act where or the Affordable Housing Act, pardon me, the Affordable Housing Act where the government has to step in and put stipulations and guidelines or restrictions on. You had people that's paying $1,500 of rent in 2019. Now they paying $2,500, $3,000 in rent in 2023. Don't talk to me about affordable housing, man. There's a lot of people that's unrealistic. And then on top of that, it's not like they're getting any other public assistance that they really qualify for that's going to put a dent to really assist with whatever expenditures they got. Because they still make a certain amount of money, right? They got a certain family size, they make a certain amount of money, and they go apply for food stamps, and they say, yeah, you qualify for $200 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the reality. Everything is increasing. The cost of living is increasing, but wages aren't increasing. People that's on fixed income, like Social Security or whatever the case, that's not increasing at the same rate. So pay attention. Look around, right? You got the United Auto Workers, they on strike. You got the writers, Hollywood, the Guild, they on strike. You got actors, they on strike. You got all these people on strike. You got the nurses, I think they strike coming up. You got all these people on strike, fighting for better wages. Why? Because they trying to compete. They trying to keep up with the times and the cost of living that's astronomical. They not bugging. When you look at the United Auto Workers, they haven't had a raise in like 30 years or 40 years or something crazy like that. You going to tell me they bugging? You going to tell me they greedy? Nah, they not greedy. They trying to get what they've been long overdue to hold. They long overdue for this strike. They should have been one on strike. Them writers in Hollywood, you tell me they wrong for going on strike? You mean to tell me they wrong for fighting for what they owe? Your favorite TV shows and movies, even commercials, wouldn't be nothing without those writers. That's not those producers coming up with this content and this material for them to say. That's not those actors or actresses. Yeah, they do a little bit of ad libbing, but the core of the script is written out by somebody. They'll never get the proper just due. They'll never get the proper money. Yeah, that's a fact, B. And that's the problem. Like, if you leave 40% left for the common folk, you figure, and we're going to keep it a stack, right? You probably figure half of those properties, at least 20% of those properties are out of reach for the average folk, right? At least 20% of those properties going to be out of reach. At least 20% of properties going to probably be 500,000 and plus. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of people that's running around here that can afford a $500,000 house, bro. Even a $300,000 house. We're going to keep it a stack. You understand what I'm saying? So when you put that and you say it's 20% left for a doggy dog world, you already see what they did with the housing prices now with the cash offers or um something that's only worth 100,000, 180,000, but they wind up selling for 260 because of the competition. It's going to be way crazier than that. Understand what I'm saying? Like it's going to be way crazier than that. We got to figure out a way. How do you combat that? How come the government hasn't put in restrictions to combat that to assist, as they say, the Affordable Housing Act? This is their terminology. This is their language. So tell me how somebody got a real scale, full blown plan in place to buy 60% of all single family homes, man. That's just between those two companies. Ain't no telling what these other companies' plans is. There's no telling what they got in store. We just talking about two companies. Come on, man. Walk with me. Do the mathematics. This ain't calculus. This ain't trigonometry. This basic one plus one. You know what I'm saying? So tell me how that's going to be feasible. Tell me how that's going to make sense. They want to tell people to how to get out. Tell people to get out of Section 8, get out of government housing. No, you're going to keep people in Section 8. You're going to keep people in government housing. That's going to be the new government housing. It's just going to be much more expensive. But to me, it's the same. It's the fruit of the same poisonous tree. That don't make no sense. You got somebody got to explain that to me how that makes sense. That makes zero sense. If you checking in, like the video, follow, subscribe if you haven't done so. Let me know you in here. But that don't make a whole lot of sense, man. That don't make a whole lot of sense. Um, no, it is supposed to be against the market. It's called a monopoly, right? And it once again it goes against the Fair Housing Act, right? The Affordable Housing Act, right? It's supposed to go against all those policies and initiatives that was instituted to make sure everyone can. Part of the reason was to ensure that everyone can have a reasonable, available market, whether it's a rental or house or purchase within their bracket, right? To purchase or rental, right? At a comfortable, affordable level. It was also instituted to give the common American the feeling, the benefits of home ownership. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying it makes no sense to me how at least two companies that we know of, at least two, have plans with nothing stopping them to purchase 60% of all single family homes in this country, man. It literally makes no sense. It literally makes none. Six, zero, none. Understand what I'm saying? It don't make no sense, man. But if somebody know better, if I got a gap I don't understand, then yeah, somebody can fill me in and somebody can steer me the right way. But I thought this one against all, like you said, I thought this was illegal, especially when it comes to this particular sector, this particular market. But I don't know what's going on. I'm a bystander. I read and watch like everybody else. Hopefully, it don't make a lot of sense to me. Um, Next thing I really, I mean, people got comments or questions about what I just said. Feel free to chime in. Free filler, let's go. I'm here. Let's go. Let's get into it. Don't be bashful. Say what you're gonna say. Do what you're gonna do. We here. We ain't ducking nothing. Next thing out because I kind of had this conversation last night, right? And I only had one person give me a rebuttal because they don't because this conversation and this problem is kind of above their head because they don't have the requisite background or experience to really know what I'm talking about, right? And what I'm speaking on, anybody that really know me that had this conversation with me personally know I wasn't a fan of Deion Sanders going to Colorado. This soon, I wasn't a fan of it. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I wasn't a fan of it, right? I had my personal reasons for having this feeling. Um, but now we're here. It is what it is. So quite naturally, I want this man to succeed because if he fails, it sets us back even further. If he fails, it's just a fact. It is what it is. You don't like it, you better, because you're not versed enough in this conversation. If he fails at Colorado, it sets us back even further than we was in the head coaching space. Understand that. It's already complicated for black men to get a head coaching job. Whether it's collegiate level, whether it's the professional level. It's a fact. It's documented. Especially when you're talking about the Power Five in college. It's already a complicated task. It's an uphill battle, right? So if YouTube, you just coming in, like the video, comment, let me know you in here. Um, it's an uphill battle, right? It's already complicated for us to get jobs. It's already complicated for us to get that look. It's just a fact. Don't shoot the messenger. Go read the numbers. The numbers don't lie. All these initiatives and things they try to institute to combat that doesn't lie. So now you see this tearing down Deion campaign. You figure out where all these negative comments and negative narratives and negative angles come from. It's a full blown campaign to do this. Best believe it's not a coincidence. It's purposely done. The issue I take with this, and this is the conversation I had last night. This is the conversation I had last night about this. Brent, what's up? We back. The conversation I had with about this last night is the fact that um Dean Smith, Mike Krzyzewski, um who the other cat I can't think of right now. But these guys were credited, they were acknowledged, they were revered, highly revered for the fact that they took black young men, guided them, showed them the proper way to conduct themselves in life going forward. They were credited with this. They didn't receive no backlash. Matter of fact, this was a guide of principles to receive more black student athletes, right? It's almost like black student athletes was pushing a direction just for this. So Deion Sanders is doing the same exact thing. When you really took away the nuts and bolts, you really break down what he's doing. He's taking young black men and telling them they worth. He's taking young black men and telling them they could be great. He's taking young black men and telling them the proper paths and how they should go about handling their business, whether it's academically or as an athlete. And he's not muting them. He's allowing them to be they self, as y'all call swag. He's allowing them to have a little bravado, right? And somebody said to me one day, they said, "Yo, but what about his son? His son walking around doing the watch thing, and he's arrogant." I was like, "Man, y'all realize who his daddy is? His daddy's arrogant. How you expect for this young man not to be arrogant? How you expect a son, an athlete at that? That's a kid of Deion Sanders not to be arrogant. That literally makes zero sense to me. That is the weirdest argument. That's the weirdest point that I think I've heard in recent memories. That literally makes no sense at all. It doesn't have any merit. It doesn't have any ground to stand on. So you telling me that Deion Sanders, with all his bravado, all his arrogance, Mister, it must be the money, Mister High Step from the 20-yard line of the opposing team, of his own 20. What's going on, bro? How you? My bad. You know I can't do the. I'll talk to you in a second. I'll talk to you in a second. I'm getting all kind of negative vibes right now. But he high stepping from the opposing offense's 20-yard line when he get an interception. This guy that was a highlight reel that had all the bravado and arrogance that you could possibly have on the football field, although he backed it up. I'm not saying that. But what I'm asking is a kid that grew up in that environment of a Deion Sanders with the the over the top everything. How can you expect this kid not to have a level of arrogance? It's beyond me. But it wasn't the same scrutiny when Johnny Manziel was walking around doing this. What was that same scrutiny? This kid doesn't get in trouble. This kid ain't. They don't say this kid is doing cocaine and got an alcoholic problem in college like Johnny Manziel did, who still won in the first round, who still was a high draft pick, who people say was a franchise quarterback that flamed out because he was an addict and his evils and his addictions came to a head and overpowered his NFL career because he come from a bunch of money. His daddy had a bunch of money. He didn't do it for the money. A kid that says he had too much stress in life, how he had to work everything, a kid that was given everything. Come on, man. This kid Shador doesn't get in trouble, man. This kid Shador doesn't be he hasn't been accused of having a substance abuse problem. So help me understand where any of this makes sense. Because it doesn't make any sense to me. How can Deion Sanders be ridiculed, like I said, for doing what he's supposed to do as a black man, as a black head coach, guiding young black boys on how to be great, whether it's on the field, whether it's off the field. You know what I mean? Everybody not going to the league, but still giving them advice and and guide or principles to go forward in life, just as a human being. But it's a different scale as a black man, and y'all got to understand that it is what it is. I'm gonna tell the truth. I ain't gonna be apologetic for telling the truth. I'm not gonna dumb it down. I'm not gonna mute it. I'm not doing any of them things, man, because it doesn't make sense. You can't criticize or ridicule Deion Sanders for doing, like I said, what Coach K did, what Dean Smith did, or what they were highly revered for doing. Now, granted, they ain't let these kids have all this flash, and kids couldn't really have a personality plan for them. Was that in totality? Was that a good thing or a bad thing? Answer me that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else can have a personality, but a young black man, he got as a black person, you got to walk a fine line. You got to walk that tightrope. You can't have that personality. You got to be very careful what you say. You got to be very careful what you do. However, main man when they can sue a line of coke on the table on camera and nothing's done. Oh, he just has a problem. We're going to help him. That's what that looks like. And I'm only going in this bag because of what's being said. You know what I'm saying? I'm only going in this bag. Otherwise, I wouldn't even go into this bag. I'll leave it alone. But I'm going into this bag because of the hypocrisy of it. It's hypocrisy at its finest. It makes zero sense. Other people going to duck it. They don't want that smoke. They going to mute it or they going to act like they didn't hear it. A la Jerry Jones and the other owner pretty much on a nigga shut up and play football. You know what I'm saying? They gave Jerry Jones all them passes for posing in that photo with the Arkansas, with the Arkansas revolt when they was trying to go to school. Oh, I was just a young kid. I was curious. They gave him all kinds of concessions. They gave him a soft landing spot. But more and more things are revealed. And when do excuses stop? When does the truth really come out to the forefront? Why are people so scared to tell the truth, man? Because you scared you're going to lose something? I tell people, man, you can't lose nothing you never had, man. If it wasn't for you, that's why you lost it. 'Cause it wasn't for you in the beginning. You can't lose something that was meant for you, man. Reese, what's up? You can't lose something that's meant for you, man. It's never have happened in the history of man. What's been ordained for you, what's been prescribed to you, what's going to happen for you. Can't nobody stop that, man. So you got no reason not to be a man. You got no reason. You got no reason not to stand tall. You got no reason. Just say you're a coward and you don't want to feel that heat. Just say that. I could deal with that a little better. You know what I'm saying? But don't be out here frauding and perpetrating like you one of us and you not. Understand what I'm saying? But nah, I don't understand all the ridicule that man faced by doing the same things that's been done. He's not doing anything different. I promise you. He's not doing anything different. He's not reinventing the wheel. He did the same things at Jackson State. Only difference was at Jackson State that was a low level school for a Watts class. It was the FCS. It wasn't FBS. Damn sure wasn't the Power Five. And it didn't come with this much attention, with this much media attention. Nobody expected Colorado to have any level of success that they had this fast. People was expecting them to only had like 2 wins this season. They already surpassed that. They surpassed that very quickly. And then you start having the naysayers, you start having the hate, you start having everything that come with that. Like I said, I wasn't a fan of Deion Sanders going to Colorado just yet because I feel like it was more work he could have done at the HBCU level. That was me personally. I'm still going to stand on that. But like I said, since we here, we here. Now I need that man to succeed to the highest level possible because he can't, he doesn't have room to fail. Because if he fail, that sets black head coaches back. Man, I can't even quantify that. I can't even quantify that. It definitely sets him back. So he got to come in there. He got to do what he do. He got to do it on a level that is very comparable to the counterparts. And I know another part of the problem is that he got that PWI looking very dark on that football field. Y'all can say what y'all want. I'm gonna tell the truth. He got that PWI looking very darkish on that football field. But the difference is with the darkish is you see a lot of Cuban link chains. You see a lot of swag. You see a lot of, you know what I'm saying? You think you was at an HBCU school the way that football team looks. They're allowed to have personalities, man. They're allowed to have a level of bravado that's not been seen in the PWI in the FBS system. You never seen it to that magnitude. To that magnitude. I'm not saying we haven't seen it glimpses, but to that magnitude we haven't seen it. And I think personally that's what a lot of the problem is. That's what a lot of the backlash comes in at. That's what a lot of the naysayers come in at. And that's some things that he gonna have to they're gonna have to figure out. They're gonna have to weather that storm. You understand what I'm saying? That's gonna be an ongoing battle. But one thing I do appreciate about that guy, and I'm talking Deion Sanders, is that he really doesn't fold to common pressures, man. He don't really care about what people think, and he says this much. Look at his press conferences. So y'all used to being able to say things I want to say to these black head coaches, and they scared to lose a job, or they scared like I'm just happy to be here. You've never seen it with this level of bravado. It's just a fact. There's no black coach in whether it's collegiate or NFL history that's had this level of bravado of a Deion Sanders. Um, Something that I thought I was going to stay away from again, but I'm gonna dive back into it real quick, and that's we understand that Palestine and Israel right now are going through a conflict, right? Um, it's dominating media coverage to the point that you don't even hear nothing about Ukraine no more like you used to. Now it's Palestine and Israel, right? Um, it's a lot of things with that situation that I believe that it's a very touchy situation. It's a very contentious situation. Um, it's a situation that's unfortunate because at the end of the day, the end result is the loss of lives. No matter how you bring that back, no matter how you bring it back, right? Um, it ends with mass casualty. It ends with innocent people being killed on both sides. Only thing that I ask when it comes to this particular situation, my only wish is that the coverage will be fair. It'll be fair for both sides, right? It wouldn't be in favor of one versus the other. If you're going to tell the truth about one, you got to tell the truth about the other. Um, I heard your good friend Ron DeSantis say that more people died in that first attack by the Hamas on Israel. More Jews died than they died in the Holocaust. And I thought that was the most ignorant statement I ever heard in my life. And I don't really think nobody even really paid attention to it because you got too many people that when this guy talks, I don't even think people think about what he's saying. I'm talking about his constituents. I'm talking about his followers. I don't even think about so to my understanding, from a historical standpoint. Over 1 million Jews died during the Holocaust. So what his claim is that in those first hours of that attack, you saying more than 1 million Jews died during that initial attack? Like that's not even close to the truth. Where it showed clearly on the screen, I think it was like 1,800 people died, like Jews, like Israelis died within the first 24, 48 hours or something like that. So it's not even a fraction. Like you can't even quantify this from a mathematical, numerical standpoint to make this make sense. Um, I know through the initial part of it, they said that X amount of people was taken hostage by the Hamas, X amount of babies were decapitated by the Hamas. Only thing and I'm not saying whether it didn't happen or did happen by them. Only thing I would do is preach caution when it comes to that because we've seen this before. We've seen people put on other uniforms to commit these level of heinous acts. You call them black flag operations. That's the coin term for them. You call them black flag operations, right? A black flag operation is pretty much where you want to disguise the true perpetrators of a offense that's going to cause a major reaction, right? And the purpose is to cause a major reaction. So I would just preach a level of cautiousness when it comes to that. Um, I know like yesterday or the day, I think yesterday, a Gaza hospital was bombed and like 500 civilians were killed in that attack. So then I see today something about this was supposed to be perpetrated by I guess Hamas or somebody on that side. It wasn't done by the Israeli like. So they said that they bombed their own hospital, killed 500 people. I guess to do some Jedi mind trick fake out type time. I'm guessing. I'm guessing. I would just say be cautious. Be very cautious of what y'all see in the media. Be very cautious because you don't know the puppet master that's pulling those strings. You don't know the puppet master that's actually causing those conflicts under numerical. I ain't saying numerical. Catch up. Um, like you what you here for? Don't come here for that. Like you get bombed on. Trust me. Don't do that. It'll end up bad for you. Um, but that's why you can't have serious conversations all the time, man. Because everybody, unfortunately, don't be on the same kind of time. You got too many weirdos that come around for the wrong reasons. You understand? But it doesn't make mathematical logic. I'm struggling with really thinking about these things, and I'm trying to understand um the real true ins and outs, the true mastermind behind these attacks. Because anybody in the intelligence field, they would tell you numerical. It's numerical, bro. Like, come on, man. You know what that is. Like the other thing you said ain't even a word. Like I'm not trying to be an asshole, bro. But I got some real deep conversation going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like add to the conversation in a real way. Like don't do that. Add to the conversation in a real way. I said add to the conversation in a real way. You're coming on here with a question that don't make sense. Add to the conversation in a real way. If you're not here to add to the conversation in a real way, then go away. I don't want you here. This is a real topic. There's real stuff going over here. Anyway, back at the ranch. Let me get back on my job of what's really going on out here. Right? Um, you got people out here losing their lives and somebody want to be whatever they trying to be and then try to throw rocks at how they hand. We don't play them games over here. This is politics on the corner. I'm real rap came, dog. We don't play them games. Obviously, it's your first time here. We don't do all that here. Understand? Um, so when you got these different things going on and you're really trying to overstand, right? Whether or not this is legitimate news, these acts legitimately happened, or was this a black flag operation? Was this a Jedi mind trick? You know what I'm saying? Um, and at this day and age, you don't know. You truly don't know because you looked at Ukraine that just got upwards of $30 billion from us to fund the war, right? But the part that y'all got to understand is that prior to them getting $30 billion, they got a whole bunch of money. Americans, like a lot of y'all senators, a lot of y'all governors, a lot of these politicians, children went over there and got a bunch of money. You understand what I'm saying? They went over there and got a bunch of money in Ukraine. Then the war happens, and then we happen to give them a whole bunch of money back, right? Meanwhile, they can't even pass a budget here. They talking about a government shutdown where you got millions of people potentially is going to lose their jobs in less than a month for a duration, no matter if it's a short duration or long duration. But they still going to potentially be out of work where they can't even go and get a side job because they still a government employee, so they have no way to supplement their lost income. But meanwhile, they sending a whole bunch of money overseas, over the water. They sending a bunch of money. Understand what I'm saying? Sending a bunch of money. So then you get Israel, you get the Hamas that attack Israel, and all these intelligence agencies around the world didn't know anything about this attack happening. It came out of the clear blue from the U.S. intelligence, which is still recognized as the foremost intelligence agency in the world, to the Hamas. I mean, my apologies, to the Mossad intelligence. That's also recognized as being one of the best. None of these people knew anything that was coming. However, Iran had an inkling, but didn't know for sure that this was going to happen. Help me understand this. And then Israel turns around yesterday or Sunday, whatever day that was, yesterday or Monday. My apologies, today Wednesday. I'm totally off. I normally do this on Tuesday. Yesterday or Monday, they turn around and ask for $10 billion from the U.S. for funding for the war. Y'all know how much money Israel really gets? They don't need our paper. But you know what I took that as? It's the lottery. I just watched y'all give a bunch of money to Ukraine. Y'all have no particular allegiance to Ukraine. It's a fact. It's a fact. Ukraine not even part of NATO. It's a fact. It's not my opinion. This is all factual information, right? So America funds a bunch of money to Ukraine. But like I said, upwards of $30 billion, right? So if I'm Israel and I'm looking like we allies, we homies. If they get 30, I know I can get at least 10 on the arm right now. There's no way you could deny me getting 10 billion and you just gave them what you gave them. So is this like the Powerball? Spark a conflict and I get a couple dollars? This gotta be like the Powerball with way better odds. Because I gotta rationalize this to make sense. Because it doesn't make sense otherwise. Like even a narrative of, and I don't want nobody to feel take no offense to this. No type of this has nothing to do with the average Jew walking around the world, no matter where you at. This conflict really isn't yours. I understand Israel's getting bombed, and you maybe got some family that actually lives in Israel. Hopefully, none was hurt, none was killed. So I get that part, right? I sympathize with that part. So I don't never want to make a scene that I'm speaking ill on that part. But this has way more to do with the Israeli government than anyone, because the Israeli government has done what they have done historically to the Palestinians, to people, to the Muslims in that region, period. If we're going to talk facts, we're going to talk facts. We're not going to talk conjecture. We're going to talk facts. Everybody got a smartphone in their hand. Open your phone up and read. Everybody got a smartphone in your hand. You watching me on a smartphone right now, more than likely. If we're going to tell the truth about this conversation, let's tell the truth about this conversation. You understand? That same level of discernment, that same level of the identifiable egregiousness of an incident needs to have the same rules and policies and same rules and variables that were applied, right, to the Holocaust. The same rules and variables were not applied to the Christian Crusades. Don't make me go into this conversation, man. It was not applied to the Christian Crusades. It was not applied to the slave Atlantic trade. It was not. It was a bunch of stuff that was not applied to. And like I told y'all before, the main difference is the Holocaust was perpetrated by white men. That's not the same conversation. I'm just here to tell the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So it has to come a point in time. It got to come where there's a fork in the road where we're going to tell the truth or we're going to continue with the propaganda and the false narratives. We got to tell the truth. Only way we can have true progression is by telling the truth. Only way that whatever these plays are that's being conducted, whatever these ills are, whatever these folks that are committing these atrocities, they're throwing rocks, they hiding their hand, they're saying so and so did it where they actually did it to spark it. Like no intelligence. Listen to what I told y'all, man. No intelligence agency had any whim that this attack by Hamas was going to be committed when it was committed. No one had any whim, which is really unheard of. Normally, you'll get a report that say, "Yeah, we got some chatter about this. We got some information about that." Normally, that's what happens. That hasn't happened. They saying everybody was completely in the dark. It's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. That's how you know that something's funny about this. And now you look around the United States of America, and you got all these the Jews are supposed to be on high alert. They supposed to have additional security at synagogues and things of that nature, right? But the part I don't understand is on the news yesterday, it was saying how this little 6-year-old boy was stabbed over 30 times by the landlord. This little Muslim boy, 6 years old, was stabbed over 30 times by a landlord. He did nothing wrong but say a lad law. That's all he did wrong. That's all he did wrong in his life. 6 years old. But I don't see any national coverage when it comes to this. I don't see anyone really speaking on this to the extent that it should be spoken on. But there's narratives being played, there's narratives being said. And unfortunately, people watch the news, people watch media, and they go along with these narratives. They don't think for themselves. They don't have critical thinking skills. They don't have critical rationality skills. They just go along with whatever narratives being presented to them that sounds halfway legit. And then the problem is with that is they go and repeat that narrative. They they tweak that narrative. So when you talk about misinformation and misinformation campaigns and how did this become to be true? Because somebody heard something to their mind was articulated so eloquently, they had to repeat it without even thinking about what they were said or what they were told or what someone said to them or what they'd overheard. So then you get people in the conversation that they are ill-equipped to engage in because they don't have the informational knowledge to really fully engage in this conversation. Because before, like I said before, I said this about 2 weeks ago, or I meant to say the last week. I can't remember. Pardon me. To fully understand the situation with the Palestinians and Israel, you have to go back 100 years. If you ain't willing to go back 100 years, you would never understand this conflict. You would never understand this conflict. Right now, in the north, in the northern Gaza area, because the Israeli government said that they're going to attack pretty much with ground forces is supposed to be coming up. They ordered over 1 million Palestinians to evacuate the Gaza, the northern Gaza Strip. Right? There's only 2 million of them to begin with in that region. There's only 2 million, right? So they ordered over 1 million to evacuate. You know what has happened in the past when they evacuated? When they evacuated for purposes of being secure and the purpose of reasons for not to be harmed brought upon them. When that conflict or that dust up was over, they were not allowed to come back to their homes. They were permanently, for all intents and purposes, exiled. Y'all got to pay attention to the play. But y'all get caught up in the hype. Y'all get caught up in the media's narrative and these fancy headlines, and y'all don't understand the depths and scopes of what's going on. And y'all got to understand the depths and scopes of what's going on fully, or don't engage in the conversation. Be quiet, because the less you say, sometimes the less is better, because you're not perpetuating a false narrative or an inaccurate narrative. It may not be completely false, but it may not be completely accurate, but you're repeating it. You're tweeting it. You're putting it on Facebook. You're putting it on Instagram. You're putting it on TikTok. You understand what I'm saying? So at that point, that's how you get these misinformation campaigns. That's how you get, damn, how do we get there? No, I agree with that. It's nothing more than a play, but the problem is not enough people realize that it's a play. You understand what I'm saying? Not enough people realize what's fully being said. They, they hear and see the shock value, but they don't fully think about it. They don't analyze it. And some of the stuff really don't need to be analyzed. Some of the stuff when you hear it, it's like it's so far outlandish. It's like, come on, man, who are you kidding? Who are you talking to? But they know more than enough people are not going to do the research. They're not going to do the mathematics to it. They're just going to repeat it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we end up in the state that we're in. That's how we that's how we really have the true lack of progression. And it takes and it's not we got to cross racial boundaries. It's not a black thing. It's not a Hispanic thing. It's not an Asian thing. It's not a white thing. It's a people thing. Until we really come together as a people to understand what's being done and the manipulation tactics that's being conducted, it's going to be nothing but puppet master. That's all it's ever going to be. And it's purposely done that way. If y'all can't see the control mechanisms that's been put in place, even as we speak, then y'all really running late, man. Y'all really need to wake up and stop sleeping with your eyes open. Because it's more than enough it's more than enough things that are said and done directly, overtly, that today is almost like there's a level of arrogance where they could be completely honest, right? It's to the point today, right, where they can be completely honest. They really don't have to lie because they know that even with the lie, quote unquote, right, there are going to be more than enough people that's still going to believe the lie, right? But today, people are so feeble minded. People are so programmable. I could just tell the truth. I can shove this shit in your face and tell you it's sugar, and you're going to say, oh, yeah, that has a great smell. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the God honest truth. And there has to be a way, like I said, where we come together as people. Fuck all this race shit, man. It's a thing. Fuck all this race shit. Fuck all this political lines or whatever things that they have used, tactics and tools they've used to keep the division. That's all it is. It's tactics and tools they've used to keep the division so they can deploy their tactics. The more people run around here talking about Democrat versus Republican versus independent versus all this other weird stuff, the more they win. Because it keeps people down here arguing. while they at the top, laughing, joking, sipping, smoking, snorting, whatever their vice is, together, and laughing about how the American people are dumb. You know, I'm just here to bring y'all the brutal truth, man. I'm not here to what you call it, pussyfooting around. I don't have the time nor the apparatus. I'm here to tell y'all the truth, man. And I understand this ain't for everybody. I understand the truth can get people. Um, nah, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't get it though. I mean, we just gonna keep it fair, right? And this is really one of my premises and purposes. Is like, there's a lot of people that don't get it. A lot of people, man. There's more people that don't get it than people that do get it. And as long as that number is as it is, they can keep deploying the tactics that they deploy because there's no what's the consequences. You know, only time people really have true change or is when they think about and they say, I don't want to deal with the consequences that come with that. But, you know, they got a bunch of people that sit in rooms, bean counters, that do all this weird mathematics that say, um, oh yeah, that say, oh yeah, this mathematic makes sense to us and we can live with the consequences of A, B, C, and D. We can live with the end result. It's not an issue. As long as that remains the status quo, we're going to be in the same state we're going to be in. We're going to be in companies trying to buy 60% of single family homes. We're going to be in the food that we eat. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you got, I mean, one person at a time, man. We got to meet at the top and we got to do what we do. It took everybody. It's all hands on deck. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, they can keep feeding us this poisonous food, putting all these bad chemicals in this food, causing cancer, causing diabetes, causing I got you. You ain't have to fix that, man. I got you. Um, causing cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure. You know, all these evil, ill type diseases that really came from the food. They not really going to tell y'all that. They not really going to tell y'all that because if y'all dig through the history books, y'all seen famine. Y'all seen this in history. Y'all seen the Black Plague. Y'all seen these various other illnesses that came through and swept away generations, right? But you never seen anything written in text, written in scripture about cancer, about diabetes, about high blood pressure. You've never seen it. So where did it come from? You know, it had to come from something of the food, man. They spraying this food with all these preservatives, like I said, to make it last longer. These foods should last 24 to 48 hours, max 72. These foods last in a one week to 2 weeks. That shouldn't be done. Why? Because they putting all these preservatives and all this bullshit in the food to make it last that long. To give a flavor, to give a taste that they deem edible. You understand what I'm saying? They have modified and mutated the taste buds of man to a degree that it's really not recoverable. It's unrecoverable. Think about it. Tell me why I'm lying at. It's all factual information, man. And this is what we got to figure out how to combat. And when we can only do that united, we can't do that long. We down here yelling at the moon. Because that's exactly what it is. While they sitting somewhere laughing in a big mansion or at parties together, $25,000 a plate dinners, saying, yeah, we really got these people out here going. We got them protesting, we got them marching, we got them screaming at each other on social media. We got all the hate things that's being done and perpetrated in public. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We gotta wake up and that's their biggest fear is us waking up and uniting. But as long as y'all allowing them and permitting them to keep the division, they're gonna keep winning. They're gonna keep these same tactics in place. I'm Real Rat King. This politics on the corner. This is normally conducted. I mean, but this conversation ain't for everybody, man. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. This conversation ain't for everybody, but each one teach one. You got 10 people in there, you want to reach one. You got, you know what I'm saying? It's a 10% rule and everything. That's my rule. That's my rule of law. 10%. Out of 10 people, if I can reach one that make one get on the same accord or open a brain, then I won. I did my job. And then that one can go on and teach whoever he need to teach and educate and open their mind or whatever the case may be. And then sooner or later, that will become the dominant force. So they got no choice but to get down or lay down. Real Rap Kane, this show is normally done on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. I had to do it today. A delay, my bad. Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. Principles and parameters. We stand on what we stand on. We stand what we stand, what we stand, we gonna lay. I see y'all next Tuesday. Get with me. Like, share, subscribe, and share this right here. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all in a week.